Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Solskjaer trusts Scott McTominay and Fred in Manchester United's midfield. What?
It's not good news about Stan.
Why, what is it?
Jane has just texted me, they've rung Sharon.
Yeah.
They said he's no better. They took his mask off to give him a drink.
Yeah.
He couldn't breathe at all. They couldn't even give him a drink.
Couldn't they?
So they said to Stan, do you feel comfortable? And so Stan turned around and said, just let me die.
Alright.
So if he's no better in the next couple of hours, they're telling them all to go down. He won't survive, Stan.
Nah, he's gonna die, innit? Nah, he's gonna die, innit? Sorry, I was just talking there. So as I was saying, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trusts McTominay and Fred in Man United's midfield. These Man United fans that have had a go at Solskjaer for persistently selecting McTominay and Fred. You know, McTominay has had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games as well. Earlier on in the season, McTominay came back from a groin injury. Don't forget he had surgery on his groin. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. McTominay has been part of the club for a long time. And Fred, as you all know, I've got my strong reservations about him. You know, he's had his good games at Man United, he's also had his bad games as well. We overpaid for Fred, we got him in a deal worth 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to prove himself as an elite manager. Solskjaer has to win a trophy within the next 18 months to basically save his job. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards, and the other week Solskjaer came out and said that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is under pressure because we've lost 3 of our last 4 games in all competitions. But despite that, Solskjaer's job is safe for now. The Man United board retain full support for Solskjaer. Solskjaer got very good backing in the summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. You know, John Murtough is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed him in the summer transfer window, and we made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back in. Obviously, Darren Fletcher knows the club through thick and thin because he endured 2 decades as a player for Man United, and our owners, the Glazers, backed Solskjaer, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Because obviously, towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And reflecting on that, there was United fans protesting against the Glazers at Old Trafford. And there was also protesting against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground. Solskjaer did reveal towards the end of last season that the Glazers apologised. The reason the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time is because they've put Manchester United in so much debt. The Glazers have been at Man United for 16 years. They purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. Man United endured a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. We signed Rafael Varane and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. In this year's summer transfer window, we spent around 141 million. We only managed to sell one player in the summer transfer window, and that was Daniel James. We sold him to Leeds for 25 million. The reason we sold him is because we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. And it was disappointing that we didn't sign a midfielder in the summer transfer window. I'm hoping we can sign a midfielder in January or next summer. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has told the Glazers that he wants Manchester United to sign Declan Rice. Well, it recently said Man United ended the pursuit of Declan Rice over West Ham's 90 million valuation. It says Man United have been looking at Declan Rice alternatives. Now, earlier on this season, it said Man United identified Declan Rice as the number 1 midfield transfer target for next summer. And it said it's likely Declan Rice will leave West Ham next summer as he targets a club offering Champions League football. When the summer transfer window was open, it did say that Declan Rice was unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. Rice has rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. Rice has got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. Obviously, there was narratives coming out yesterday saying that Manchester United are interested in Calvin Phillips from Leeds, but Calvin Phillips is not coming to Manchester United. We did loan a few players out in the summer transfer window. We loaned Brandon Williams out, Ethan Laird, Axel Tuanzebe, Andres Pereira, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. You know, this season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. And I said at the start of this season that this season was going to be huge for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. Obviously, in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And like I mentioned, we made a mistake giving him that new contract because I can assure he won't see it out. Obviously, there is some Man United fans that are demanding Antonio Conte in to replace Solskjaer. Well, a few weeks ago, it said that Antonio Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to be sacked. Conte wants a winning project. He rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte's got a good pedigree behind him because he won a lot of silverware in his home nation, and when he was in his first season at Chelsea, he won the Premier League. So he's managing the Premier League before. And Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. I think there's some Man United fans that want Zidane in. You know, Solskjaer has not got a proven pedigree as a manager. That is definitely a concern. Before he was with us, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was terrible. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. And my other concern about Solskjaer is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. So there you go. But reflecting now on Solskjaer, as being Man United manager, he has gained some managerial experience and he's learned quite a few things on the job, but there's still plenty of things Solskjaer's got to learn because he's still a young coach. Solskjaer's been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years. But whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we'll always adore him because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. We appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we gave him the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. There were some Man United fans though that thought we made a mistake giving him the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether to give him the job. I have got to give Solskjaer credit because I think Solskjaer has done a good job to say the current squad that he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, and I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. And you know, since Solskjaer's come in, he has brought consistency back in certain aspects. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. Solskjaer has given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer has signed 14 players at the moment, and we've spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. Progress has been made under him because Ollie has got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season, got us to the semi-final of the EFL Cup last season. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season. Last season, he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. So there you go. And last season, Solskjaer got us a 2nd place finish. In his first full season, he got us a 3rd place finish. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. We've also extended a lot of players' contracts under Solskjaer. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer did mention he wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire. And Solskjaer's beaten quite a few big name managers as Man United manager. He's beaten Bielsa a few times, he's beaten Ancelotti a few times, he's beaten Pep Guardiola a few times, beaten Jose Mourinho, he's beaten Thomas Tuchel and he's beaten Julian Nagelsmann and beaten Jurgen Klopp in the FA Cup, but Solskjaer's not yet beaten Jurgen Klopp in the Premier League as Man United manager. So they're the things, you know, you've got to give Solskjaer credit for, and like I've said before, when results aren't going our way and when we're inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Obviously there's certain players that have to take responsibility because there's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club, and I don't like the way the football club has been run for a long time. But mention what I've said so many times before. Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson. Despite me criticising him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. But I'm expecting Manchester United to endure a very good season because we've got a very, very good squad. That squad is good enough to win the title. And even earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble-winning team that he was part of. Obviously, we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, Ronaldo has done well since he re-signed. You know, Ronaldo scored 4 goals so far. Ronaldo obviously played against Aston Villa at the weekend. To be honest with you, for the vast majority of that game, he looked isolated and he had to drop deep quite a few times. Ronaldo has said that he wants to retire at Man United, then coach Cristiano Jr. in Man United's youth team. Well, prior to the Aston Villa game, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo will keep playing for Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo is 36 at the moment. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo signed a 2-year contract with Man United with an option of a 3rd year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears the number 7 and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. Ronaldo's already made it clear to his Man United teammates that he wants the Premier League this season. Prior to the Young Boys game, Ronaldo says we can win the Champions League. Don't forget Solskjaer came out and said that it's not impossible to leave Ronaldo out of the team. Solskjaer insists he doesn't have to play Ronaldo for every game. Like I've said, in the Carabao Cup, it's likely that Ronaldo will be rested, and I think he'll be rested for the FA Cup as well. Ronaldo is already the record scorer in the Champions League, and earlier on this season, Ronaldo became the all-time international top scorer with 2 late goals against Ireland. You know, Ronaldo's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. And Ronaldo did really well in his first spell at Man United. You know, he won 3 Premier League titles, the Champions League, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups and the FIFA Club World Cup. And he scored 118 goals in 292 games in all competitions. In Ronaldo's first spell at Man United, he endured 6 years. Jadon Sancho, yeah, he is a good player, but he hasn't enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. Like I've said to you though, it does take some players time to settle in. You know, Sancho didn't play any part against Aston Villa. Solskjaer got criticised for that. A couple of times, is it? You know, Solskjaer's played Sancho on the left-hand side, but he's not effective on the left, he's more effective on the right, because the right wing is Jadon Sancho's predominant position. Don't forget, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. Sancho's under contract with Man United till June 2026 as an option of a further year. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. You've got Raphael Varane, very good centre-half. I think Varane has enjoyed a very good start to his Man United career. You know, Varane's looked well composed. He's brought the ball out well from the back. and he's been very effective in the air. And he's also very good at making clearances. We got Varane in a deal worth 41 million, with add-ons included. Man United paid like 34 million up front. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United with an option of a 5th year. And Varane got given that number 19 shirt. Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. But Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree behind him, because when Varane was at Real Madrid he won a lot of trophies and that. And he was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. Eric Bailly, I think he's a decent centre-half. Bailly played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup last week, and that was Bailly's first start of the season. He put a very good performance out, made some good interceptions, and he brought the ball out well from the back. Bailly's obviously going to find it hard to get in the team now, because obviously we got Varane in the summer transfer window. Our first choice centre-halves are Varane and Harry Maguire, but we need to keep Eric Bailly as a backup, so if Varane or Maguire get injured, then Bailly is a plan B. Obviously Maguire is injured at the moment and he could be out for a few weeks. Bailly is injury prone though, so that is a concern. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre-half. He's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. He hasn't endured great games so far this season. Like I said, Maguire's out with injury. He's not in contention to play tonight against Villarreal. Maguire had ligament damage towards the end of last season, didn't he? We overpaid for Harry Maguire, got him in a deal worth 80 million from Leicester. Most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. Luke Shaw, very, very good left-back. Luke Shaw, though, wasn't too good against Aston Villa at the weekend. He really struggled against Matty Cash. Luke Shaw obviously went off with injury in the 1-0 defeat to Villa. Luke Shaw is injury prone, but despite that, he's had a good career at Man United. Luke Shaw has been at Man United now for like 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. He's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. I think we are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. And Wan-Bissaka, he's a good right back, but there's certainly aspects of his game that I've got to improve. He's got to show more attacking intent. His positioning's got to improve and his crossing's got to improve. So there you go. But defensively, he's always been superb. Revert back to what I said with aspects of his game needing to improve. Despite that, I still think he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. And Wan-Bissaka obviously can't play tonight against Villarreal because he's suspended. He got sent off in our 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. This season is Bissaka's third full season at Man United. Got him in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace. Obviously, Paul Pogba, he's very, very good. He's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. Paul Pogba's got 7 assists so far. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. Now I'm hoping Paul Pogba signs a new Man United contract. Obviously Paul Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. He said earlier on this season that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires. Well, a few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus for Man United on a free next summer. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. It said the other week, though, that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba next summer when his contract expires. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with Pogba. Barcelona have been interested in him. And earlier on this season, it said, PSG want him next summer on a free. PSG tried to get him in the summer transfer window, but they couldn't get him. Because obviously PSG got Lionel Messi. Paul Pogba's brother Matthews Pogba said a few weeks ago that Paul Pogba is yet to decide on his future and his contract situation is up in the air. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far and he's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid 89 million for him. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era but had to let him go due to limited appearances. You've got Donny van der Beek, that's a good player, but haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he doesn't get enough game time. I've already said that Solskjaer needs to start Donny van der Beek in the Premier League. Van der Beek played no part against Villa. He obviously played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Carabao Cup last week. And what a performance he put out. He also started against Young Boys in the Champions League, did Van der Beek. But he got taken off at half-time in that game and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that because Van der Beek was our best player in the first half of that game. Not so long ago, Don Hutchinson told Donny van der Beek he must leave Man United to save his career. And Paul Ince said that Van der Beek has absolutely no chance of staying at Man United. Solskjaer rejected Van der Beek's exit because it said Everton were close to signing him on loan. Many clubs have been in for him. This season is Van der Beek's 2nd full season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 40 million for Ajax with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. And he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. You've got Bruno Fernandes, a very, very good player. He's one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes missed a penalty in the 93rd minute of stoppage time against Villa, so he missed out on the opportunity to salvage a point for Man United. I think that was Bruno Fernandes' first miss from the penalty spot as a Manchester United player. It said the other week that Bruno Fernandes is close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth 250 grand a week with the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo. And Romano said that talks have been ongoing since July between Man United and the agent of Bruno Fernandes over a new contract. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Bruno Fernandes wants to stay at Man United, he's made that clear. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Obviously last season won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Fernandes has been at Man United now for almost 2 years. You've obviously got Mason Greenwood, that's very, very good. He scored 3 goals in the league so far this season. Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. And last season he signed a new 4-year contract with the club. You know, you've got Edison Cavani. He's made an impact since he's come in. Cavani came back from injury not so long ago. Cavani will leave in January or at the end of the season. I can't say I want him to leave though with the impact he's made. You know, Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. You know, look what he produced at PSG. You know, he scored a lot of goals and look at the trophies he won with them. I think Barcelona are going to go in for Cavani in January. And Marcus Rashford, he's also very, very good when he wants to be, but Rashford has endured his bad periods at Man United. And he's become injury prone, which is a concern. But Rashford is really, really close to returning now. It said the other week that Rashford looked sharp in training after injury shoulder operation, but will look much better when Marcus Rashford comes back into the team. We really, really will. So there you go. That is a very, very good squad. And obviously Man United are going to sell players next year. You know, next year I'm hoping we can sell Martial, we can sell Lingard. I'm expecting Van der Beek to go because he's not getting enough game time with us. Jones, I think he'll go next year. There's a good chance Diego Dalot will leave. Good chance Tellez will leave because Tellez doesn't really get in our team. Eric Bailly could leave as well. I want Fred to leave. Whether he does or not, I do not know. And I think Juan Mata will leave next year, and so too Edison Cavani. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.